Hello, it's February the 1st today. I thought I would pop on and wrap up this vlog that I filmed throughout January. We've done, there's some lovely sort of walks that we filmed, or maybe just one actually, and some baking and cooking bits. There's not really been any crochet or knitting updates because honestly throughout January I have finished very little and I haven't had a lot of time to crochet or knit or work on any of my projects really. So I was going to, I hoped to film a podcast today, so it would have been 2 weeks since the last one, but I just don't have enough to share really at the moment. So I will film that next week. I will film the next one next week. And so this week I thought I would put up some vlog footage because I filmed a beautiful walk we took over in Laycock. It was all beautifully frosty, so I did film that, and I think I've got some cooking clips that I could add in as well. I know that I tried one of the recipes from that new cookbook that I shared in my book video, the last one that went up. So yeah, it's 1st February today. I think I said that's Wednesday, which is my day off, and the children are home because there are teacher strikes today, so that's thrown me a bit. I've been to the dentist this morning, and everyone's just had lunch, so I thought I'd just take 10 minutes to do a bit of filming and then maybe try and do some editing this afternoon. They seem pretty occupied, so I'm not going to worry too much. But what I thought I would share with you quickly this morning are the books that I have bought from the charity shops this month. I'm trying very hard to be good. It's almost impossible for me, but I do love to have a browse around when I'm in town. So, but first of all, I thought I'd share the, I went into a charity shop close to where I work yesterday when I finished, and I picked up this tiny little bundle of fabrics. I'll take it out. I haven't even looked at them yet because I really would like to try some English paper piecing. I've never tried it before, and there's a lovely volunteer that comes into work, and she's been bringing in her projects and sort of showing me how it's done. So I think I might have a go. I've wanted to for a while. I've just not got around to it. So I thought this might be good. I've just ordered. What did I order? I ordered some 1-inch hexagon templates because I thought I'm not even going to try and cut those myself yet. So I've ordered some templates and a rotary cutter. So, but honestly, I have no idea what I need. I just thought this was, because I want to just do like a small project to see how I get on with it, because I honestly don't know how I'm going to find it, and I'm not a very neat hand stitcher. Sorry, I got interrupted there. Yes, I'm not a very neat hand stitcher, so we'll see how I get on. But there was this little bag of fabric, and they wanted £2 for it, so I thought that might be really good. And they're all different. There's this lovely, look at that. That looks like a fat square, and I do have quite a few fat squares upstairs. That's folded in half as well, so that's beautiful. That was the piece of fabric that caught my eye. Yeah, so I really liked that. But then they've obviously, there's just so many fabrics. Hang on. There are lots of squares of fabrics, and they're mostly sort of blue. I'll just flick through a couple. There seem to be sort of about 2 squares of each pattern. That's pretty. So I thought these would be really good for me to sort of practice on. For £2, I didn't really feel too bad about. One of those pretty ones there. That's pretty. So these are sort of blues and purples, but they've all got that kind of ditzy floral fabric, which I love. And then there's some sort of plainer fabrics there. So I was really pleased for that. There's also Well, that feels like a nice, like a brushed cotton, and then another kind of fat square of butterfly fabric. So yes, I was really pleased with that. So I think for £2 I'll be able to do quite a few hexagons or have a go, and I won't feel too precious about the fabrics because I've got some really special fabrics that I've kept, but I don't want to immediately go straight on that because, like I said, I don't think I need to practice my stitching. I think that's the thing before I get going. So I was really pleased with that. So I picked those up yesterday, and then I got a few books. Like I said, I'm trying not to buy books. I'm trying really hard not to buy books, but when it comes to sort of vintage books and books I can't get very easily, I don't mind. So I found this copy of Northanger Abbey, and I just loved that cover. Look at that. That was £2, so I couldn't pass that up. I don't think it's very old, probably 70s. I think I've got a few from this collection of books, so that's the Zodiac Press one. So I loved that, so I grabbed that. And then I got Penelope Lively, Life in a Garden. I've read a few of hers, and I think I borrowed this one from the library and never got around to finishing it. So for £2, I was really pleased to grab that. My battery's flashing. Let me go on for a bit. I also found this John Clare's autobiographical writings. It's got one of those, I guess it must have been sold from a bookshop. It's just a book from the 80s. John Clare is one of the poets that I discovered. I really love his writing, so I was interested. I thought, well, I'll be interested to read more about him because I don't know a lot, so I bought that one. And then I found this. Oh, I also found a copy of Angela Carter's Wise Women in the charity shop, and I couldn't remember if I had it. I've been rereading a lot of her work recently, since I read her, since I bought the fairy tale book, actually, the fairy tale book back in the autumn, and then I read her Bloody Chambers. Anyway, I bought it. I wasn't sure if I had it, but I did have it. When I got home, I have this copy, which I think I prefer. So I will be sending that one back to the charity shop. But it was only £1, so I'm not going to worry about it. And then this Look About Nature, book 6. It's one of these lovely vintage books with lots of those lovely illustrations in. Oh, aren't they lovely? And I need to go and change the battery. There we go. Sorry about that. I didn't want to have to worry about the battery dying halfway through talking. Right. So where was I? Oh, the Look About. I mean, we do have a couple of these, but Rob and I were in the shop and I was looking at it, and I came across this picture here. It's a grass snake with a frog in its mouth. That's a bit disturbing. Probably should have given a warning. I'm sorry, but it just, I looked at it and I said, oh, Rob, because a few years ago we were out in the garden and I heard this screeching, like it was like a sound that I'd never heard really, but I thought, oh, maybe the dog had stood on a bee or a wasp or something. It was like a really high-pitched screeching, and it was coming from the undergrowth round near our summer house. And like people, you know, like my daughter came running out. She was like, "What's that noise?" And I sort of looked down. I said, "Oh, it's a frog. It's got its legs trapped in some brambles." And she was sort of stood over, and we were sort of looking down. You could just see it like really thrashing, and I could only see one of its legs. And I just was going to clear the brambles away, and she looked and she said, "No, Mum, there's a snake." There was this really big grass snake, and it had one of the frog's legs in its mouth and was sort of desperately trying to, I guess, swallow it, and the frog was just screeching. Anyway, before, I mean, we were all so shocked that actually before, I don't know if we scared the snake or if the frog just made so much noise, it just managed to get away and the snake just went back into the summer house. But I'd never seen anything like it at all, and we were all kind of shocked by it really, because I just didn't, I mean, it was a really big frog as well. It wasn't like a little one. This frog was big. And the grass snake was quite big as well. So, yeah, to see that picture, when I was sort of browsing through the illustrations, I showed my husband and we couldn't believe it because, you know, we'd never seen anything like it. So to see it there in that book, so I just said, oh, I must get it now because, you know, it was just so unusual to come across it. And, you know, it says, yeah, it's two little imprints, one with the grass snake and the viper, and then the grass snake trying to eat the frog. Well, it says grass snake swallowing a frog. And it's just incredible. Yeah, never heard a frog scream like that before. So anyway, I bought that. And then the last book I bought was this Rosamund Pilcher one, and it's called Winter Solstice. It's very big. I had been watching it on my eBay. I've been watching a couple of them just because I bought the book The Shell Seekers. I found it in a charity shop, and I was saving that one to read in summer. But I read the first couple of chapters and I already know that I'm going to really enjoy it. I really enjoyed her style of writing. So I saw this one and it was Winter Solstice, so I thought this would be a lovely one, and it's set up in Scotland. So I'd been watching it, but I saw it in the charity shop and it was £2. So I thought I'll grab that and put that away for winter. So I bought that one as well. So that was everything. Not too bad. I have bought a couple of new books as well, but I'll share those over on the podcast probably. So yeah, it's fun just to have a look really, I think, and try not to buy too much, just because, you know, although they're cheap, we are quickly running out of space. So I mean, we do have lots of bookshelves. I just need to really have a good clear out, I think. But it's fun to find some unusual titles. So yes, so that was that. I am reading The Very Secret Society of Irregular Witches. I started reading this a couple of months before Christmas actually. I put it down somewhere and couldn't find it. I found it. So I'm rereading that again. That's it's a really lovely light read, but I think I will finish that in the next day or so. So I will talk about that on the podcast as well. I also finished reading The Dictionary of Lost Words. I really loved that. I think I rated that 4 stars, and a Nora Ephron book. So I will update you in the podcast, I think, for those, because I don't want to talk for too long on here. January is just so busy. I know it's busy for everyone, but it's felt like really admin-y busy. So we both had our, oh gosh, the sun can't seem to get the light in right today. Yeah, we both had our accounts to do, had lots of other life admin-y things that I'd been putting off, which I was determined to finish for January. So I've done all that, so I feel really pleased. So hopefully I can get on and focus a bit more now on writing some patterns up, you know, and the more enjoyable things. So yes, Lulu and I went to, where did we go at the weekend? We went, one of our New Year's resolutions was to try and make time to go to some more art galleries or museums and that, because she wants to do art GCSE next year. So yeah, we thought that would be a really nice sort of New Year's resolution to make. So we went along on Sunday to the Holborn Museum of Art in Bath. And we had, yeah, lovely. I didn't film any footage of inside because we were just so absorbed, really. It was just really lovely to have conversations about all the different art and the pieces that they had. And then we went and enjoyed a coffee and a cake in the restaurant downstairs, and then out the back of the Holborn Museum it opens up onto Sydney Gardens. So we just had a really lovely wander around. We've got lots of like bridges that go over the train line and the canal. So yeah, I mean, it was quite grey, but it was really nice just to get out in the fresh air and have a little walk. And it's not somewhere I haven't been to Sydney Gardens for years, really. So that was also really nice. It was a really nice thing to do at the weekend. So yes, it's just been, yeah, we've been busy really. So I haven't had a lot of time to sit and work on my projects, which is good. But yes, hopefully I will get time now that I've finished all the boring stuff to spend a bit more time on them. Anyway, I hope you're all well and that you enjoyed the clips. And I will see you hopefully next week. Bye. So today I'm trying the lentil recipe from the Jeremy Lee book that I got for Christmas. It's just called A Pot of Lentils. It uses surprisingly very little. So it says a heart of celery, 500 grams of lentils. Take it, that's the right type. I don't know, that's what I'm going with. I really don't cook with lentils very often, and I've generally used tinned lentils before. So this bag just says rinse in cold water, bring to the boil and simmer for 15 to 20 minutes. So, and the recipe basically says the same, so I think we're okay. It says 1 onion, I only have a red onion, so I use that, garlic, 4 garlic cloves, 1 carrot, some extra virgin olive oil, extra virgin olive oil, 4 soup spoons of extra virgin olive oil, yeah. And then you can use 5 rashers of bacon, which I'm going to do. In fact, I may put more in because I've been really enjoying this bacon and lentil soup recently. It's only a tinned one, but I really love the smokiness that the bacon gives it. So I bought smoked bacon rashers, which again, I normally wouldn't buy smoked bacon, but so that's what I'm going to try. I will film what I can. It seems fairly simple. I think you just fry off all the veg and then boil the lentils and then just mix it together and kind of simmer, I think. Yeah. So yeah, let's have a go. So it says 1 heart of celery, leaves attached. I'm guessing that means the inner bit. So I've taken the edge stalks off. I honestly have no idea. We'll just go with it. 1 heart of celery, leaves attached. Does that mean all these little leaves or these big leaves? I'm just going to keep going till I feel that's enough celery. Yeah, that would do. And then 1 onion. One carrot. I'm not going to peel it. I've washed it, it's fine. I'm going to chop that up fairly smallly as well, I think. And 4 cloves of garlic. So I've rinsed the lentils in cold water, and then it just says to fill them up and bring them to the boil, and then add to the veg. I've rinsed them a couple of times. They're still looking a little bit starchy, but I'm just going to go for it, I think. Right, so the recipe says to bring to a boil, and then drain carefully, rinse swiftly, and add them to the veg. So they've just come up to the boil. I'm going to take them off the heat and drain them over the sink. I only have this tiny little sieve, so I'm doing it in sections. Okay, that's all of them. And then just mix in with the veg. Add the bay leaves. Cover with water. Bring to the boil, then simmer. It just says cover. There's no measurement for the water, so I guess I'll just keep an eye on it and see. That looks pretty covered, doesn't it? To be honest, I've not cooked with lentils like this before, so I don't really know what to expect. Right, so bring it up to the boil. I've got it on a smaller burner because the middle one is quite big for getting a low heat. We'll see how we go. So I'm just going to bring it to the boil, turn down the temperature, and then it says let it simmer for 30 to 40 minutes until everything's softened, or you can cook for a few hours on a really low temperature. So it doesn't sound like I can do much damage to that. I mean, time will tell. Yeah, I'm just going to let that do its thing and I will report back. So this is what I've got. I've just taken the bay leaves out after 40 minutes. I think I might have put a bit too much liquid in, so I'm just going to keep simmering, but everything's soft and it tastes lovely. I've added some of that Cornish smoked sea salt as well, just to give it a bit more flavour. But yeah, it's really nice. So I think I might just keep simmering it for a while because like I said, there was no quantity to the water. It just said to cover water, so I'm not 100% sure what the texture should be, but I'm pretty sure that this is still a bit too watery. So I'm just going to let it gently simmer. I think, or maybe I'll just let it simmer away for an hour. But so far, it's yeah, it tastes really nice. So these are the lentils that I made the other day. They turned out really well. I think I probably did add a bit too much water because when I reheat them, they are slightly liquidy around the edge. No, I mean, nothing too worrisome really. So today it's my evening shift at the library, so I leave the house about 1:30 and I'll get home about 7:30. So I usually won't have a hot meal in the evening, so I've just warmed a bowl through with a pre-cooked salmon fillet, and I'm just going to have it on a bed of I'll just pop this onto a bed of salad. And then I'm going to have that for my lunch quickly before I go to work. So they've been really good actually, just to reheat. I had some with chicken the other night. It made a lot, and the children weren't overly fussed by them. So I have got an awful lot of lentils. So I think next time I might just halve that quantity. If you've got a family that are going to eat them, that'd be great, but mine weren't too bothered by them, so It's mostly been me and my husband that have been eating them. So might be slightly bored of lentils by the end of this week, to be honest with you. But yeah, really good thing just to, especially like for lunches, if you want something hot, like I often eat like a quick bowl of soup or something for lunch. So that's been really nice. And I was tempted to sort of blend the rest up and make a soup, but I'm not sure how long they last. It did say up to a week in the fridge. I think I made these about 4 days ago now. So anyway, I am going to get on and have my lunch before I have to go to work. But yeah, I just thought I would update on those because they are really tasty, and yeah, it's been really nice to try something different. So, but yes, let me know, are there any secrets to cooking lentils that I don't know about? I also added, which the recipe didn't call for, I added lots of turmeric, some paprika, and more of that smoked salt. That's why mine have come out quite yellow, but my hands have been really, my knuckles have been really playing up recently. So I read somewhere that turmeric is a good anti-inflammatory, so I've just been chucking it in everything this week. So yeah, that's why they're quite yellow in colour. Anyway, I'm off to have my lunch now. I will talk to you soon. Hello, it's a Sunday morning here. Rob and I just went out for a really lovely walk. It's so frosty and beautiful. Anyway, we've come back, had a cup of tea, and I'm just going to make a stew, I think, for this afternoon's dinner, or maybe for tea now. Anyway, so I thought I would just film it really. Well, I had filmed some clips this morning, so I thought maybe I'll just do a bit of a cosy weekend vlog for you. We actually watched a film last night called it was on, I think it was on Amazon Prime, I'm not sure. It was called Men, and it had Jessie Buckley in, who I really love, but it was so strange. It was like an art film, and it was all really about the toxicity of men, and you know, it was really unusual, but it ended up with lots of sort of sequences of men giving birth. And I think Rob was quite traumatised by it, if I'm honest. So he didn't sleep very well last night at all. I, however, slept fine. So anyway, I'm going to get on and start making some dinner. So I'll bring you along. Nothing special, just a bog standard stew using what we've got. Rob bought some meat and a turnip, and then everything else we already had. So anyway, I'll get on. So I've got everything prepped, just some steak beef. Rob chopped up a swede for me, some chantenay carrots. I'll just put those in as they are. I might just take off the ends. I've got some vegetable suet to make some dumplings later. I prefer the vegetable suet to the meat suet, actually. I think the taste is very similar, and I find the meat one upsets my stomach. So I've got two legs, there's not very much in that. So I will make some traditional style dumplings with the veggies suet later. And then we've got, well, that's everything really. What have we got here? I've got some shallots to cut, some beef stock, oyster sauce, some flour, and just salt and pepper, the usual. I think that's pretty much all that will go in. Rob suggested using some leftover leeks, so. But yeah, that's everything. Nothing too fancy, and then I will just leave it all to simmer away slowly in the oven for a couple of hours. So it's a few hours later, and I'm just about to make the dumplings. It's getting a bit dark actually. I'm going to use the Atora, and I'm just using the recipe on the back, which is 100 grams of self-raising flour to 50 grams of suet. I double that, so I do 100 grams of self-raising and 100 grams of suet. And then you can just add herbs and spices, bind it slightly with a few drops of water, or I use an egg. So, and then just mix it all up with your hands, and then just pop them into the stew for sort of half an hour, the last half an hour. So I'm going to do that now. And I'm going to just mix it all up in the scales because there's not too much. So. So that's it. They just go, pop the lid on, back in the oven for about 20-25 minutes until they're sort of fluffy and lovely.